Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fashion Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith, and I'm here as always with expert fashion stylist Marcy Carmack. I'm a visual merchandiser, and previously we gave you an update on the spring window displays here in Chicago, and I'm going to give you an update here as we move into spring and what's going on here in Chicago and probably in some of the local cities and towns around your area. You might be seeing people getting prepared for the upcoming season, and we're seeing a lot of board ups in the area. So this is on Oak Street. This is Pomeletto, and this is a new store just opened about a month ago, and they've boarded up with the plywood for the
They've
upcoming season.
they've been open for a while, Stan.
I know, but they moved. This is a new store.
Moved.
So they moved next door into a new space, which was previously an older Barney structure. But so we're just discussing the pluses and minuses of who did the best board ups, who wore it best, who wore plywood best. So this is the
That's very interesting that they opened a month ago. Or they changed stores a month ago. Why would they do that?
They just wanted to update. They just wanted to update their presentation. So, and this is the Bruno Cucinelli.
Cucinelli.
And I thought they did actually a stunning job. I love this because it's just pretty seamless. And they actually have a little branding that's tasteful. And this is not quite black. So I love that because I really hate the black. I mean, no offense, but I just think that's just so expected. And it doesn't make it, I don't think painting plywood black makes plywood disappear, even though people think it does. Doesn't make it disappear for me. This is the Burberry store, which, really, because I enjoy life's small pleasures. This is a stunning photo because I just love the spring trees against the Burberry store. And they do have the black, but in this particular sense, I think they did a pretty good job because it's pretty seamless. Of course, I mean,
You can't see it, and it goes with the check of the building.
yeah, but you can't see how to even get into the buildings.
Believe me, those who want to go in,
They're gonna figure it out. Well, I hope they find it. And then this is the Christian Dior store, and also similar. They did a very seamless job. I mean, previously I think they had just filled in the windows, but now they just covered up the whole storefront and painted it white to match the store. And I think that it's pretty nice. It's pretty clean and tidy. Nice presentation. So I give them credit for that. This is the Dolce & Gabbana store on Oak Street, which we looked at previously with a very colorful display. And they went for the basic black, but they accented with this almost like a bank vault door, which kind of has a campy feeling. I mean, again, probably
subliminal message.
It's utilitarian, but you almost could have played this up. If anybody had a sense of humor, you probably could add something to that to give it a little bit more, something to offer something more. Salvador Ferragamo on Michigan Avenue. I thought this actually was stunning because I just love the architecture of the building and how it kind of conflicts with the architecture of the storefront, and then it conflicts with the plywood. And they even went the extra yards. We give them extra credit because they actually papered up the upper windows so you can't see in to the upstairs area, which I'm assuming that's part of the store, but I might have to check on that if that's upstairs.
Yeah, they have
upstairs. So I guess they don't want people to even see what you could loot in there. But that's definitely a mighty fortress of plywood, but not altogether unengaging, ironically, visually. The Gucci store on Michigan Avenue, and they are directing people over to the mall entrance at 900 North Michigan.
That's inside?
This is outside on Michigan Avenue facing the street. This is the window that's boarded up and painted black, and this is this whole vinyl covered plywood structure covering up the revolving door, and they're just directing people over to the mall entrance. That does the trick.
Does the trick, but it doesn't look great.
No, it doesn't look great. They started off with this pretty slick presentation, but then I mean, I think maybe they just recycled this from the last
that's
time.
Fine. That's fine.
We appreciate that from sustainability standpoint. And this is the Hermes store on Oak Street. And again, I think they recycled their boards from last time because you can see how they've been screwed and unscrewed a couple different times, which I'm assuming they will paint this fresh because for the entire season, for the entire board up season, which we don't know how long that will last, but they're doing the best they can. Again, I appreciate that it's not black. It's something a little bit softer. Visually, it's just a little bit softer and more pleasant. And this is the La Perla store on East Oak Street. And this is a hybrid. I'm calling this a hybrid category where they have the grate, the metal grate that comes down across the entire storefront and the door. But then they've gone the extra mile and created this lovely plywood and padlock ensemble. So they've accessorized their storefront with plywood and padlock. I think this is also a stunning mix of true plywood with particle board. And many people mistake plywood for particle board, but they're definitely different. They're in the same aisle at Home Depot, but they are they are in a different bin. So I appreciate the mix and matching. I will tell you though, from a display standpoint, we always remove the price tags. Every store we've ever worked in, they always tell us, whatever you do, please do not remove the price tags. And I always tell my people, the first thing you need to do is rip those price tags off. So I will beat up La Perla a little bit, because I do think this is a scanner tag from the Home Depot for the particle board. So I don't think anyone needs to know how much you paid for the particle board. You want to keep that a mystery. That's part of the it's part of the glamour and intrigue of
Stanley,
any
what's
display.
this part at the top?
This is a structural element, Marcy. You wouldn't understand this as a fashion stylist, but this is holding up the entire structure. So they have to anchor the wall to the surrounding perimeter. So
Why didn't they just go all the way up?
Well, that's a good question. We'll see another example of that later, which I'm going to fault somebody for. That's a good question. They just
Not lazy. Didn't think they needed
or cheaped out. But you're right. They really should have, Marcy. And they probably, even though I do appreciate the raw look. I think the raw look is great, but they probably should have either finished it or painted the whole thing. In reality, it's probably nonsensical because the whole store has this grate, and you can't get into the store anyway. I don't really know what they're doing.
solidarity.
I think they're trying. I
Solidarity.
think they're merchandising for their insurance adjuster. I think that's what's going on there. But I doubt their insurance adjuster is a La Perla shopper.
Probably not.
This is
Now
Louis
look
Vuitton.
at that. That's pretty. Even though it's black, it's pretty clean.
They did a very nice job, and it is black, but their store front is black. So similar to Burberry, it kind of fits the bill, and you can still see the branding. Marcy's right. This rose to a certain height to cover the entire storefront, except the branding. Again, springtime. I think this is very. I love the way it accents the planter and the tree silhouettes. It's very.
What kind of tree is that, Stan?
It's probably a locust tree. A lot of the trees are locust. They have those really small leaves. They're very low shade, and they tend to grow pretty well urban environment. But again, visually, we do take it for granted what the streetscape offers us, even in this unfortunate time. But this is still offering something, because that's really a beautiful silhouette of the tree. You appreciate the greenery, and it's pretty clean and simple. It says a disaster is coming, but doesn't make you want to panic. It looks like they are reacting calmly and coolly, efficiently. It gives a sense of propriety, which is appreciated. Similar, Tiffany did a nice job. They boarded theirs up and painted it a nice soft color, which is kind of a blend of the limestone and the Tiffany blue. It's definitely not blue, which I give them credit for, because it's not. I think in general, most people should not interpret this as a branding opportunity. I think it's fine to have some sort of tasteful logo or mention of the store, but it should not be considered an advertisement. And in fact, that's probably would be in violation of the city ordinances. But tasteful. And again, I included this, made sure I got the beautiful flowering tree in here, because you know what? Still a pretty nice street scene here of the Tiffany's and the board ups and spring
Tell me though,
flowers.
again, they have the grates, so
They have the grates, but the window, if you remember, is just a sheet of glass. You can see the grate behind the window, but the window itself could be bashed. And I don't think Tiffany takes their jewelry out at night, but they probably would in these circumstances. But I think they just avoided the whole situation and just remove the opportunity. And this is the Loro Piana store on East Oak Street. And again, next to the Pompolato, it's just a nice streetscape of plywood, which again, I don't have a problem with. They're using the plywood, and kind of by accident, they have this lovely inset going the other direction. One grain going this way and this going this way. I don't really know what is going on there or why, but
Where's their door?
that's a good question, Marcy.
Perhaps they're not open.
They have been open, and I think the sign says they're hours, but it's a good question. I don't know if they just send someone over to unscrew the store for the daytime. It's a mystery. It's a display and a board up mystery.
Maybe our guests can figure it out for us.
And then we have the Louboutin, Christian Louboutin.
Louboutin?
Louboutin, and they have, similar to Dolce & Gabbana, which is next door, just the blank plywood wall with this amazing, contrasting, utilitarian bedroom door from like a 1960s track home. It's really stunning and profound. And this, of course, has the manufacturer's printing of, barcode and manufacturer's information. Probably the particle board came from China. So it's imported, which makes it, I guess, essentially an exotic wood here on Oak Street.
We don't make any here?
Probably not. Just like the gypsum, like the drywall. Most drywall comes from China as well.
Now that's good looking, and it has something to do with just the way their windows are. I mean, that looks great.
Yeah, this is particle board, and it just shows the gift of particle board is the gift that just keeps on giving, because they really maximize it. And yeah, I do. I think this is by accident, but I do appreciate the fact that they gave it a little space between each panel.
And it looks like granite.
Yeah, it's almost mesmerizing, and I love the way that just the logo brand is here. I do wish they could have done something. I wish there was something else zany going on here. Like, you see the fire plug here, which kind of is an element. I wish there was something else between the fire plug, the door, and the Jimmy Choo. I wish there was something else. I don't know
Like
what it would
what?
be. I don't know, like a pair of gloves, like coming out from like behind the panel, like someone was trying, like gray, if you had gray workman's gloves coming out, just something ridiculous would just make it.
If they would only consult you, Stanley, there'd be a little more levity, a little more joy, a little more laughing.
So keep that in mind. If you've got a board up coming on your horizon, you might want to consult a professional. And then this is the Montclair store, which again is about as clean and simple as you can get. This is in the old Barney's building on East Oak Street, and there is a cutout for their door. I will say Montclair was one of the first smash and grabs in the whole beginning of the genre of smash and grabs. It was, Louis Vuitton and Neiman's, but then boy, Montclair for some reason was very popular smash and grab. They had a number of smash and grabs, and even after they had taken steps to secure the property, it still continued to get broken into. So I don't think these people are taking chances ever again. And this is the Neiman Marcus store on North Michigan Avenue. They were one of the first people to board up this time with, again, just a clean, classic plywood.
Clean and classic.
And I don't.
When it comes to boarding up, clean and classic, or
well,
zany.
I think this is just unapologetic. It's just they're not apologizing. They're just letting it be
getting down to business.
What it is. And I don't believe they painted it last time, and I kind of hope they don't paint it this time, because it's just.
Well, that's your favorite, you said.
I do. Yeah, I like it raw, and I love the contrast. This is really a stunning. You don't take time to really look at the storefront, but it's a stunning architectural storefront. It's such a huge presence on Michigan Avenue. Most department stores are actually inside another building, but not Neiman Marcus. Neiman Marcus is its own building. It's its own. It's its own entity. It's an entity all unto itself, to Michigan Avenue. So we give them credit for making the effort. And then this is, I just took this picture as an example of the wall-to-wall board up wraparound. The wraparound look, which is, cinched or not cinched, is always a classic look. And this is the old Garmin store, which was then Dillon's, and now it's an empty storefront. So this building is just protecting the building for the sake of the glass. Some of the
Well,
glass.
certainly, particle board is a lot less expensive than that heavy glass.
Exactly. And so, why not protect your assets? This, I will mention just this is previously the original Saks Fifth Avenue
Oh, is that right?
building here in Chicago. And you can still see some of the charming Chippendale architectural designs that were here originally. Most of this block, the building is still here. It was the Saks Fifth Avenue store years ago on Michigan Avenue. I think we're at the end of no, we had a couple more that we didn't see. We didn't see Prada, did we?
No.
Now Prada, I guess I would give them the gold star because they went this route last summer during the riots and the looting, and they put a wire mesh across the storefront, and then they put plexiglass, and then they put like metal bars across it. So it really is fortified, and they made it part of their visual story for the entire year. And it continues to just march on through the pandemic and the rioting and the social unrest with this really terrific solution that worked for them. It's a little hard edged, but it's growing on me. And I give them credit because, from a sustainability standpoint, they have gotten use out of it. It was efficient for time and energy. They didn't have to reinstall, haul it back, take it down. They just figured out something that worked for them. I know Prada's motto is, having and making and working on a project, and they made a project out of that, and they did an excellent job. So good job.
Yay, Prada.
Yay, Prada. This is the Yves Saint Laurent store on Rush Street. This is about as boring as you can get. It's just a wall of plywood painted black. And I guess their door is maybe a better solution than some. It's just a panel, which obviously they're going to access this from behind. So it looks like they're going to unscrew this from behind and probably open the store from inside out, which is fine. Oh, and this is
who is this?
It's a secret, Marcy. Can you guess what it is? What the secret is?
Victoria.
And that's Victoria's secret. And this is so sexy that it's behind plywood doors. It's like, I just got the biggest kick out of this because I thought that is so perfect. It's like, what's more erotic and sexy than having to crawl through this plywood door to get in this inner sanctum? And you can see the pink glow of all the lights, but in real life, it's like this open pink door to pink glowing intrigue going on here. So I thought that was excellent. And I do like their plywood doors. They're nicely structured. They've got dimension. They look stable and look sturdy. And it makes you want to go walk through the portal. And this was a bad example where they didn't go all the way up, what Marcy was talking about. And this is the Gianni Versace store on Rush Street. And it just irked me to all get out. They couldn't have taken this plywood, flush with that architectural element of the door frame. I just didn't understand why they couldn't, because obviously they cut it, because this is not a 4-foot piece. Plywood comes 4 foot by 8 foot. So they cut this off for some reason. I don't know why, but I probably need to contact these people and just, I need to find out, because
absolutely. What are those?
Those are unfortunate little paper printouts, which they laminated and stapled to the wall, which has the Gianni Versace logo and the store hour. Actually, it doesn't even have the store hours. It has just the name Versace, which, I'm sorry, it just didn't cut it, especially next door to Cucinelli, which had, I thought, really nice. They had the nicest branding. It was tastefully done. And I'm not here to beat people up, but it's
I know. Well, we really appreciate those who can do it well, but it is a very stressful time, and we just want to get something up.
So I think that is the end of our spring board up tour here on Michigan Avenue, but we hope we've given you some inspiration and some anticipation for the Board Up season whenever and wherever it's coming to you. Thank you for joining us for Fashion Coffee Hour, and we'll look forward to seeing you again. You're invited anytime to join us at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Monday, when we discuss the fashion and business and culture of fashion, and look forward to seeing you and hearing your comments then. Take care,
And
everybody.
how can they get to us, Stan?
They can get to us by liking on Facebook. If you Google us and look for us on Facebook, you also can find us on YouTube. And when I post this video, I'll be sure to include some of those links so you can find us more easily. Thank you so much,
Perfect.
everybody. Bye-bye.